Welcome back to another episode of the Brooklynite TV podcast, everyone. I'm your host, Frank. And please, folks, pay close attention. We got a hot topic today that you're going to want to hear about. This is no time for small talk. We've got to get to the heart of the situation that should have every American and every person who cares about national security absolutely furious. We're talking about this drone invasion over the United States, with sources indicating it could be coming from none other than Iran. Yes, you heard it right. Drones, invasion, Iran. And before you brush this off as some wild conspiracy theory, stick around, because if this turns out to be true, it's not just a national security threat, it's a wake-up call for the entire country. Now let's start with what's being reported. The U.S. has been seeing an increasing number of drone sightings over its airspace, particularly in highly populated areas like New York, New Jersey, and other parts of the United States. And these aren't just random drones. They are sophisticated, well-coordinated, and seemingly deployed from offshore motherships, which we are now learning could be operated by Iran. Yes, Iran. The same country that's been a sponsor of terrorism, the same regime that's been working relentlessly to undermine peace in the Middle East, the same government that we have been pouring billions and billions of dollars into for the past 4 years under the current Biden administration. Now let's get this straight. If Iran is indeed behind these drone invasions, it's more than just a national embarrassment. It's a direct violation of our sovereignty. These drones are infiltrating our airspace, and that, my friends, is an act of aggression. What makes this even worse is the reality that this is happening under the Biden administration after he's been funneling billions and billions of taxpayer dollars to Iran over the past 4 years, including the crate full of money that Obama sent them about 10 years ago. Billions that we, the American people, are essentially handing over to the very regime that could be planning this drone attack on the United States of America. How stupid can we be? I mean, how fucking stupid can we be? And I'm not talking just about sending a few $1 million in humanitarian aid or funding some peace talks. We've given Iran over $7 billion in the past 4 years. So let that sink in for a second. While they've been working to develop drones, missiles, and nuclear technology, we've been writing them checks from our taxpayer dollars for the work that we're doing, that we pay taxes on. They're funneling to Iran. And if this turns out to be true, and it's the result of that funding, if these drones are being deployed as a result of our taxpayer money, then this is not just a foreign policy blunder. This is an outright betrayal. So where is the outrage? Where are the people who are supposed to be standing up for the United States of America and our interests? How are we not collectively furious? How are we not calling out the fact that the very country we've been funding may now be using drones to spy on us, or worse, to prepare for something much more sinister? If this situation doesn't make you angry, I don't know what will. We're funding the enemy, and we're allowing them to attack us from our own skies. And the worst part, there's barely any pushback. There's no real outrage from the mainstream media. No one seems to be giving a shit or holding the Biden administration accountable for this disastrous series of decisions. Instead, we're distracted again by headlines that we're bickering about, politics, and we're letting our country get invaded, piece by piece, because we can't focus on anything other than the latest political drama. I mean, seriously, people, is this where we're at? Are we really going to sit by and allow this to happen without doing something about it? Because, folks, if we don't act, and act now, we're going to look back at this moment as a time in the United States that we allowed its very enemies to infiltrate our airspace and attack us, all while we funded their efforts with billions and billions of dollars. Now let's talk about what this means for national security. If these drones are coming from Iranian motherships, and I don't think it's a stretch to believe that they're not, then we're not just talking about a few random attacks. We're talking about a serious breach of our sovereignty. If Iran is using their military technology to infiltrate our airspace with these drones, what else are they preparing for? What other form of attacks are they plotting against us? Are these just reconnaissance drones, or are they weapons of war in disguise? To be honest, I don't give a shit. Either way. And the bigger question, what do we do about it? Well, as far as I'm concerned, this is no longer just some incident that could be brushed off. This is an act of war. Doesn't matter whether these drones are carrying explosive or just cameras for surveillance. They've crossed the line. When a foreign government intentionally violates the airspace of another country, in this case the United States, that is an act of war. So what should our response be? If Iran is behind this, we can't just sit back and hope it goes away. We need to send a clear message, loud and clear, that we won't tolerate this. First things first, we need to take out these drones. I know President Trump has called for the order to shoot these drones down. We need to shoot down every single one of them. We need to destroy them, and we need to show the world that we're not going to let this or any other country use our own aerospace to spy on us or prepare for an attack. But that's just the beginning. This isn't a game anymore. It's not a game. This isn't about just sending a message to Iran. We need to cripple their ability to act in the first place. I'm talking about going after their military infrastructure. I'm talking about launching a full-scale offensive to take out their nuclear facilities and weapon stockpiles. We've been holding back for far too long, hoping for diplomacy and peace deals to work out. Well, guess what? Diplomacy doesn't work with a country that's actively working to destroy you. It's time to let Israel know that they have our full support. I'd be on the phone with Prime Minister Netanyahu telling him it's time to take action. Hit them hard, take out their nuclear facilities, bomb the hell out of their military infrastructure, and show them that what happens when they mess with Israel and the United States. And I could tell you right now, Israel would love to hear those words. For years, they've been fighting off attacks from Iran and its proxies because we've been asking them to. They've been under constant threat of missile attacks and drone strikes, and now we need to stand shoulder to shoulder with them and make sure that Iran knows that they've pushed us too far. Now let's address something else here. Iran is known for launching missile attacks against Israel. We've all seen the footage, the missiles raining down on Israel cities, thousands of rockets from Iranian proxies. But here's the difference. Iran has the Iron Dome, a world-class missile defense system that intercepts these rockets and protects their people. The U.S., however, doesn't have that equivalent system. If Iran launches a missile attack on the United States, and given their history of launching missiles, this is a very real possibility. We could be in some serious fucking trouble. Iran has the ability to fire thousands of missiles at us. And if they're dropping drones in our cities, they can hit us with missiles. Just like they've done to Israel. And unlike Israel, we don't have a defense system in place to intercept those missiles. Do you know how many cities and critical infrastructures that we could have destroyed in an act like that? How many innocent people would lose their lives? We're looking at a potential nightmare, one we're not prepared for. So what do we do now? We send a message. We just don't talk about it. We act. It's time to defend our nation, to make it clear that we will not stand by and let Iran use drones or missiles to attack us. That we're not that stupid. We need to strike back hard and make sure Iran knows they've made a grave mistake. And let me tell you this, people, if we don't respond, we are the laughing stock in the entire world. How weak will we look if we don't retaliate? How much more emboldened will Iran and other countries become if they see that the U.S. is too scared, too distracted, or too politically divided to defend itself? The message we send will be clear. We're vulnerable. We're weak. And that's not a message any country should send to the rest of the world. So what do? We act. We destroy those fucking drones. We take out Iran's military and nuclear capabilities. We defend our airspace, our sovereignty, and our people. And we send a message that says loud and clear, don't fuck with the United States. We will not tolerate this type of aggression. Not now, not ever. So here's what you need to do. Share this episode. Subscribe to the channel. Tell people what's really happening. We cannot stay silent. The Biden administration has failed us again and again and again, and Iran is testing our resolve. We cannot afford to be passive. It's time to stand up, fight, 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 fight back, and send a message that America won't be taken down so easily. So thanks for tuning in. I hope you're as fired up as I am about this. This is no joke. We cannot afford to sit by and do nothing. So share this episode, let people know what's at stake, and make sure you're ready to stand up for your country. This is the time to act. Don't wait until it's too late. Until next time, people, stay vigilant, and thanks for listening, everyone. I'll see you on the next episode. Have a good one.